Hello, my name is Sharif Kronemer. I'm a fifth-year PhD student in the Interdepartmental Neuroscience program at Yale University. My research is all about the human brain, and in particular, what I'm interested in understanding is what parts of the brain allow us to be conscious or experience the world around us. Consciousness has been a topic that has been in discovery and in inquiry for literally thousands of years, but it's still a profound mystery. So my work tries to look inside the human brain and to determine what areas allow us to experience the world and know that we exist and the world that we live in exists. This research is important because there are millions of people worldwide who suffer from what's called disorders of consciousness, or where for reasons of brain injury or of a condition that they're born with, they might have unusual or absent consciousness entirely. So if we can take the healthy brain and understand how consciousness works there, maybe we can develop treatment approaches that can be applied to these people who suffer from various disorders of consciousness. Being a scientist is the act of being curious and discovery. And that's why I love being a scientist, because it gives me the opportunity to every day ask an intriguing question, often a mysterious question, and then pursue that question with these groundbreaking tools that gives us novel or new insights that previous people may have never even considered. So being a scientist is this exciting place of discovery, of inquiry, of applying your creativity in order to solve problems that no one has ever considered or been able to come to a solution to. In some cases, problems that have persisted for literally thousands of years. When I was a kid, I became interested in nature. You know, nature had all these interesting complexities and detail that could be uncovered by just a small magnifying glass, or if you had a microscope, you could see even deeper into that complexity. So as a young kid in elementary school and in middle school and high school, I would go around into the woods and try to collect things like bones that I would find. When I was in elementary school, I found a skeleton of a rat and I reconstructed it. And then I also, whenever I found insects on the ground, I would put them into these glass cases like you would in a museum. So these little discoveries about nature around us was really the inspiration for becoming a scientist, because it made me realize that there's all this complexity and mystery in our nature, in our environment, and it felt like it needed to be solved, it needed to be discovered and understood. And so that forwarded my drive to be a scientist and to better understand the complexity that is all around us. So I'm recommending you check out the website Visual Capitalist. This is a really interesting infographics website. So there's a dedicated set of employees. It's actually a Canadian company that go through all different types of data sets, and they generate these really interesting visual descriptions of that data. Personally, I'm a visual learner and I love looking at data from the perspective of an image. And so they offer these really interesting looking pictures that will help you understand ideas that you might already know, but see it in a different way. Or in some cases, I've been able to finally get a concept or a key statistic based off of their images that was much harder to understand or digest in just number or in written text form. So I know many of you out there are really interested in becoming a scientist or being a naturalist and observing the world and understanding the natural world around you, but it often feels like a daunting task. There's seemingly a lot of classes that you need to take, and there's many years of education that you need to go through, but just know that all you need is your passion. You just really need to feel excited by nature and be able to pursue it any way that you can. I know in these current days of being home, it might be harder than usual to get some of these normal resources for learning, but you can still get out in nature alone and find some interesting new things out there, or going onto these websites that are being recommended by myself and others can be opportunities for you to continue your learning, continue to fuel that passion that might guide you eventually to becoming a scientist.